You got spare game codes or any digital goods? There is a place you can sell them in less than 1 minute. Watch. Go to D2CL.com. Click Start Selling. Fast login. Go to My Account and click on Selling tab. Sell new item. Enter name, code, set a price. And done. G2A.com Digital Marketplace. Global selling simplified.
Hello everybody and welcome here to your coverage of the D2CL. I'm Toby1, your host for the English Live streams tonight as we go through our two best of threes, starting with the old Swedes and of course the old fanboys and of course the old dongers. It is the Alliance up against the boys who know how to play with monkeys, at least that is their business. As we'll go into this game right now, we'll have Team Empire coming up a little bit later up against Ninjas in Pajamas, so if you are a Swede, you are definitely getting your dose of yourself tonight. Let's get into the game. And welcome in my co-caster, a guy who'll join me for both series tonight, and a guy who has not joined me in probably over 6 months. It has been a while, but we're bringing the school back old. Welcome back, Clairvoyance. What's up, man?
It's good to be here, and as you have mentioned, Toby, like old times, my good friend. Like old times.
The game has changed so much since then. So
it
much.
It has.
But one thing that doesn't seem to have changed since we actually cast was actually the lineup of Alliance. It's almost back to what it was back when we were casting them.
That is true.
The only difference we had was, what was it? It was Chessie as opposed to Nuts.
Yep. Yeah. And of course now if you're looking at the TI3 roster, it's exit God mode and enter Nuts.
That's it. That's really it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I love how you actually call him by his full name.
Yeah. Well, it's actually supposed to be, you got it, right? It was
It's
enter God mode. Yeah, good.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how many people got it with you. It's just like, is he saying EGM? I think he's saying EGM, right? He's definitely saying EGM.
Hey, man, the perks of being an old school boy. Remember the days when we used to reminisce about Dota 1? We can't do that anymore. We gotta reminisce about patch 6.81, 6.82. You know, for example, when Bat Rider used to be first picked, as it is on the side of Alliance, versus a classic Tiny Wisp. I had some thoughts going into this game, but forget everything now.
Really?
Yeah.
This is sort of along the thought line I was having, for at least for Monkey Business, because I saw these guys a lot at MLG and had the very large privilege of sitting at the table and having lunch with them at one point and just hearing what they were talking about. And really, they're such a smart team for timing. I really wish they did better at MLG than what they actually did.
They really should have, huh? If you consider all the facts. It's the brackets. They're kind of cruel. It's like a single elimination type of thing once they get into the playoffs. They knocked, like a lot of people are forgetting, they knocked out EG down to the lower bracket. Or however else it was settled. And like if the situations and the circumstances were slightly better, I think they could have gotten top 2.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. They're a team with so much promise, and they have one thing which a lot of other teams are lacking at the moment, and that's stability. Because you look at the way they approach the game, they understand at which time they're going to have what achieved, and they're able to implement it. They don't have this almost like second-guessing nature of, okay, yeah, we're not going to succeed in this because of this and this reason. It's like, you know what, no, we just work at this. This is where we focus on, and I'm saying this a hell of a lot because I can't put it down to just one thing. I can't put it down to split push. I can't put it down to team fights or group movement kind of style. It's just this movement that Monkey Business has that it just has focus, should be the better word.
Yeah. You know, speaking in terms of Monkey as well, I want to give my props to Simba, aka Fly. A lot of people are obviously on the train with Miracles, aka MMR, as well as Big Daddy No-Tail just being the character that he is. But even with Moomiender, as well as the healthy addition of Crit, who has been, I guess, somewhat underrated in the scene for a while, you know, Fly, he's not only captaining the team in terms of draft, but he's really a guy that puts the lineups together every time I've seen him. And I know just from the Fnatic days too, he got overshadowed by a lot of his core players, and even in the previous Secret as well, he was, in my head, he got scapegoated, but he was no longer part of the roster after a few months.
Yeah.
This guy really, he is a top tier support, and I think the world should give him a little more recognition than he gets.
Yep, I agree, man. At the same time, with the way the whole team works, like it's more like No-Tail and Fly who are the ones leading this. Like they work together as a pair to do the drafting and understand where they go from there. Crit's kind of like that guy who's just like, okay, Crit, just do your best when we win. Moon Meander, I think, is almost like that side guy that you have to understand his eccentricities, and then amplify it, like just support him to do whatever the hell he wants. By the way,
Oh, yeah,
Alliance
he's definitely an X factor. Yeah.
Alliance
He
not
carries them
banning out Nature's
sometimes.
Prophet right now is a real
10
danger.
seconds remaining.
Like a real danger. I'm just gonna throw that one out there right now.
5
Yeah.
seconds
That was my
remaining.
main thought coming to the series too, because I know Monkey have both. Never mind. Alliance have decided to pick it up here. We know Bulldog is pretty much the forefront runner when it comes to the Nature's Prophet, but Monkey have been running it to relative success as well, and everybody's been doing the Bulldog build with the Orchid going into the Aghanims as well as the Octarine Core. And again, the master of the Prophet himself picking it up in this series.
I'm surprised though that they still pick it up because you got a Bat Rider already selected. Now I know S4 used to run this guy as a mid solo, and by the fact you
10
first picked the
remaining.
Bat Rider would dissuade Fly from banning out the Prophet in the second
5
phase
seconds
because you'd
remaining.
already assumed that's the Admiral Bulldog offlane, a Bat Rider, right? Unless S4's been
Reserve
running this
time.
Bat Rider more frequently in the mid lane.
I think it was generally assumed that S4 does play the bat. I don't think Bulldog has had a bat game in a very long time, and like looking at the bans this game, we obviously got sidetracked with a lot of catching up talk, but
Yeah.
you can already see in the bans too, right? Tusk and Quap, they're definitely top tier material when it comes to first picks, but it's not every day that you'll see the Quap as well as the Tusk being banned. As a matter of fact, Tusk I would say has been getting a lot like overshadowed lately. Like a lot of people just let it through and would rather pick up like Night Stalkers, Slaughters, and Brood Mothers, as opposed to the Tusk on the 3 position. Monkey have been known to run Tusk on the 4, but it just does seem a little odd that they would ban it here, even though Alliance have played it frequently in the past. And yeah, it's just like once they banned these heroes, I think both teams knew what they were getting. Monkey was kind of saying that we're probably going to get Wisp. They're probably not going to get us Doom and whatever, but we're going to get Wisp. And I kind of feel like they wanted the Prophet here as well, to be completely honest with you.
Just to throw it out there, there was only, I'd say, one game in the last, 15 games that there was a Bat Rider being picked up for S4, but actually I realize there's 2 now. But he played one during Dream League and one during the Summit qualifiers.
Alliance
In the Dream League match, they actually had the Nature's Prophet banned out in the first 2. But in the other one, they actually ran this S4 Bat Rider, Admiral Bulldog Prophet, then loaded Gyro, Arcade Undying, and My Nuts was on the Jakiro. So it ended up being this more of a 4-style push. But I just realized how many games they played, because these games are on the 20th and the 19th of this month. When both of those games
Alliance
happened.
have been power gaming ever since the majors. They've been in every
10
tournament, if I
seconds
recall
remaining.
correctly.
They're in everything. They're still in the summer qualifiers.
5 seconds
Hilariously enough, too,
remaining.
Monkey is waiting for the result of the lower bracket match, because they could knock down to the lower bracket of the qualifiers
Reserve
in the
time.
summit, and they could actually be going up against either VP or Alliance in that one. So we may actually see a rematch of this exact series happening
Yeah.
in a couple of days' time. I'll say a couple of days' time. Whenever the summit qualifiers continue, as obviously the BTS boys are down at NYC.
Oh yeah, tentatively speaking,
10
of course. And
seconds
I really do think between Monkey Alliance, you mentioned it on the Skype chat as soon as I signed up. This is going to be some good Dota that we can expect. And
Alliance
there is the starter
return
pick
to
coming up
bed.
finally. It's a highly coveted pick nowadays, but coming out as the 4th pick, which is fine again, so long as it suits the strategy. I think between Monkey Alliance and Team Liquid in their European scene right now, I mean, assuming that Secret is slightly cut above the
10
rest kind of thing,
seconds remaining.
I think those 3 teams are really vying for that runner-up position that can close in on Secret
5
as
seconds remaining.
the competitor.
Any victory will help you with that, man. As we're rounding up our
Dire
draft at the
team
moment, I'm still interested to see just how well this Bat Rider goes in mid, because I've just seen Wisp and Tiny wreck all, and now you also get a Slaughter as well as a Witch Doctor kit together. That's a lot of control, a lot of early damage as well with the new Witch
10
Doctor builds, where
seconds
you don't actually have to
remaining.
go for Restoration early on, you go for the 1-point Cask and then the 1-point Malediction.
5 seconds
So if you get the Paralyzing
remaining.
Cast, you should be able to go on a Crush, then you go to Malediction. And then later on, I'd be very concerned for any hero from Alliance that gets called out,
Alliance's turn to
because if you get Maledicted as well as Amplified, you've got a huge target painted on your back in the fight.
Right. And again, I look at these lineups so far and say I think Alliance have a better crafted mid-game strategy, even though, as you said, Wisp Tiny have been kind of just wrecking all, screwing everything else, doesn't care about too much. If it does get to a snowballing point where the Tiny and Wisp go ridiculously hard in the early game, then it might just
10
happen where they
seconds
just roll over the
remaining.
Furion and Disruptor and Undying every time they see them. But assuming S4
5
does play the
seconds
lane correctly,
remaining.
which, again, if you want anybody to play the lane correctly, it's probably S4. Going on a hero,
Reserve
strong hero
time.
like Bat Rider, who's been kind of underrated too, I feel. then you're gonna be all right. Alliance, they have a strategy in mind with their ninja picks on the first four. They immediately responded with the hero picks. They knew whatever monkey was gonna pick, they were gonna pick these heroes, and I think their strategy is gonna be sound, and I think they're gonna be prepared for the aggression that monkey throw at them.
I would love to have your confidence, man. And once we see all 5, I kind of want you to explain to me the timings of Alliance. Because I'm looking at this, and I'm just seeing Monkey being allowed to have whatever draft they want to here. And a very, very comfort zone draft for them. Like, they know when they're going to start ganking. The timing for the Blink Dagger on the Slaughter shouldn't be dissuaded that much. And Alliance's ability to contest them as well is also a big question mark in my mind. And there's that Juggernaut pickup.
I think I honestly feel like the Witch Doctor Slaughter picks were solid. When I initially saw the Witch Doctor, I said, "Oh, do they need that safe lane guarantee with the Wisp Tiny?" I'm not too sure, because they are facing an Undying after all, so it does make somewhat sense. But then when you pick the Slaughter, it's like you can either Slaughter a Witch Doctor to safe lane and IO Tiny mid, or you can Witch Doctor Slaughter aggressive dueling. And when you see the Disruptor pick coming out fourth, and you see Nature's Prophet and Disruptor, even though the enemy has an Undying, the lanes kind of seem susceptible. You know, they're like relatively squishy heroes, and whoever Slaughter goes on, if the Witch Doctor follows up, they're gonna die. So, with that said, Juggernaut is obviously a really good pickup here because it's one of the best laning carries aside from heroes like PL and stuff. And now a Storm coming out, that might have been a really greedy move actually.
Wondering how they're going to make it pay off, because it's greedy because of what Alliance can do to them. This early push, I was wondering, like, the last hero from Monkey Business is probably going to be some higher level of wave clear, even though I do know Monkey Business like to higher level up the orbs on their Wisp players. And then you still got Paralyzing Cast. You can clean out most of the creep wave when it comes underneath the tower, but the Storm Spirit's lane clear isn't really that great, and we've got Tiny Slaughter and Storm Spirit, 3 heroes that take a little bit longer before they come online.
Yeah. My main concern with this is that as soon as they pick the Storm now, they have no. I don't think they're gonna go for an aggressive option with the Slaughter, like a aggro dual lane with a Witch Doctor Slaughter, which could have done a lot of damage to Alliance's lineup despite the Undying. But now I feel like the Storm on the safe lane might just end up being a liability, because what happens is if they don't start snowballing the lanes hard with the Slaughter and the Wisp Tiny, then it is true, you know, you're looking for that mid-game timing, and I think like 15-20 minutes into the game, I see Monkey having a very hard time holding towers.
Yeah, I agree. At the same time, though, if Alliance don't add that early pressure, or if the early pressure does fail for X and Y reasons, then Monkey's momentum into the mid-game is going to be really scary.
Yeah.
Because their catch potential is going to be huge. Even a Batrider, like, it's the old-fashioned counter as well. Like, we don't just have to think about the aggressive move that comes from like a Wisp tethering with a Slaughter or a Tiny. He can also relocate save whenever the Batrider goes for a catch. So the late game control which you get from a Batrider also seems to just like fade away because you do have that Wisp on the field.
Oh yeah, the classic Paladai style of Wisp where you just pull away the target from the lasso 1000 range and reset back into the fight.
Yep.
That was a classic Cloud9 move right there. The good old days.
Oh, we have to take it back further than that, don't we? Isn't it the classic Kai P move?
Yep. Classic Kai P&D, classic Speed Gaming, Cloud9, boasting the old roster of Paladai, Eternal Envy, Sing Sing, Bone 7, and...
Yeah?
I'll let you finish that one.
No! No! I'm not finished.
Come on, it's a TI winner. AUI 2000. That guy's a TI winner.
He is.
Yeah.
He is a TO winner. You're baiting me to say something I am going to regret and Twitch chat's going to love.
That wasn't the intention, but it might have come out that way.
It felt like that, man.
Yeah.
Like there was a guillotine on my tongue and you're just waiting. Hey, I am not sniffing the tip, bro.
Yep.
All
Good
right.
save, though. Good save.
Let's go to our game, man. As we will get underway. A very defensive ward very early out there from Moon, and he is actually running this Slaughter towards the off lane by the looks of it. Yep.
Sprint level 1.
And not really exactly what I was expecting from him. But at the same time, like it's more of the standard build.
30 seconds.
Like maybe not as much where you go to the sprint level 1, but everyone's been avoiding the crush. I mean the bash.
Oh yeah. Bash you can get like level 3, level 4. Some people do get it at level 2 actually. I've seen some slutters if they see they got like a 1v2, 1v1 matchup and the support's pulling or something.
Are they gonna?
Yeah, they might
Potentially.
put-
Okay, they're gonna try and wall. Nuts put the wall up with the. Actually, yeah, with the sticky napalm, it's really difficult for Slar to get himself away from this one. There goes your sprint, so we can try and outrun that Blade Fury, and he's almost gonna do it at 51 life. He'll get back to safety and trigger off the salve. Nothing is really gained from this apart from the salve being burned. He didn't stop the rune, so it's all pretty much business as usual for Alliance.
I think that was pretty good for Alliance though. Burning the salve immediately, you know, the Slaughter is a hero that's in the off lane. He's got a fixed amount of regen and a very lane limited hero until he gets his Blink Dagger, for the most part anyway. So it was nice, and he already has a sentry preemptively placed in anticipation of the ward there, so he's going to be able to counter this very quickly.
Why do I feel like
Perhaps the
Bulldog is playing, it's just playing like Lone Druid again? He's doing what he used to do with the treants, the same way he used to do it with the bear, where you pull the creep wave down and then it double stacks the wave, so it pushes back into your tower straight away.
And did you see that counter ward there? The progression of Dota. For the longest time, people have been safe lane warding for vision, and now it's starting to get countered. Both teams have countered the opposition safe lane ward.
So that vision is really restricted, but then again, both teams also have vision. I suppose Alliance doesn't have vision of any kind of warding area though. I mean, a rune area, because their ward's a little bit further up inside the jungle.
I guess I'm starting to see what Monkey's plan was as well. I did mention the safe lane storm, but it's actually going to be a mid lane storm, which is I guess it's historically known to be one of the better heroes against Batrider, because you can just drop remnants and you have magic stick, and most of the time you can spam the remnants in return. But he doesn't have a stick right now, and of course the remnant change is one of the things that killed the hero in this patch. So I'm not too sure how successful it'll be this game. We'll have to just see.
Okay, you put it down to one of those things.
Oh yeah.
Kind of surprised though that still like we got Crit and No-Tail up on this top lane, and they're running up against Nature's Prophet as well as an Undying. If you want the most peskiest land in the world to start with, that's pretty close to the top part of it, apart from adding a Tuskar into this mix-up.
Oh yeah.
You're getting harassed
Usually
down.
Undying.
You're getting harassed down by trees. You're getting decayed all the time. Like RK is always messing with the pulls of Crit. He can't sack. He can't pull farm, and when he does do it, he's going to get decayed up a hell of a lot or pressured underneath his tower.
Dire's middle tower is
The
under
old
attack.
Undying +1 combo.
The old kind of works with everything. It's kind of always worked with everything.
Yep. Very annoying lane to deal with in general.
Yeah. How do you
Did you
find
see
a
that?
lane in
Did you
real
see
life?
that clip the other day with the Vici Gaming strategy?
Which one?
They had the Undying Morphling and Alchemist.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. My friends and I started doing that in pubs. It's so hilariously broken. It's actually unbelievable.
For those who don't know it, definitely check. There'll be someone that will post a link to it in the Twitch chat. It'll take you to the glorious strat, which is just so broken.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my gosh.
it's almost as funny as watching an alchemist farming up zombies and just getting Greevil's Grief from it all. Nuts
Oh, yeah,
trying to have a
yeah, I
crack
saw
at
that
bottom,
too.
and Loda, well, he'll go into the spin. A lot of damage going to come into the slant. He's going to crush in 1 second time. It'll only keep the disrupt the route, the first blood. It will go the way of Alliance. It goes into Loda, while up on top lane, Admiral Bulldog taking heavy damage. No-Tail's already used his combo, but Crit can't attack Morin. Admiral Bulldog to the tree line, wants to cut through, buys the treads. He's waiting it out. Now he'll cut back
Oh
through
my
again with the
goodness, is he
tango.
gonna
No-Tail's
survive?
not close enough. He's got mana, and where is it? There it is. There's your toss. Tossing RK onto the top of Admiral Bulldog. That will find the kill. RK was actually just trying to body block it, but he wasn't prepared for the toss.
No, he certainly was not. And I wasn't either. I didn't realize that he was getting regened up by the Wisp so well, but really nice heads-up play coming out of Crit there. Coming back and giving him the mana that was needed to finish off his combo. But Bulldog, he played that spectacularly. I didn't watch the scenario in which he got into the situation he did, but the way he adapted with the tree and breaking as well as finishing his items. And he looks like he's in a little bit of trouble again, but I think he'll be fine. Storm just wants to get his bottle.
He
filled up
TP'd
with-
down to try and contest the bottom rune. Fly
Yeah.
was already there, and he TP'd in 5 seconds too early. But he's also doing a blind.
Oh, is Moon dead? I think he's dead.
I don't know, like, okay, with the Thunder Strike,
Oh,
and
he
you've...
didn't get the glimpse off.
Okay, yeah, that'll do it. It's a level
Yeah.
1 glimpse, like,
Right.
and it's Nuts who doesn't have boots.
Yeah, I think I think if he immediately glimpsed it, might have been a kill, but I guess they were kind of hesitant because then you would just evade the spin for a period of time, and then you don't know if the kinetic field plus the right clicks would do enough. I think they could have gone
S4. Oh, careful. Coming under range of the tower.
No, S4.
That was a double damage rune saving the bottle of Miracle. Miracle looked a little low, and he had 5 sticky napalm stacks on him. And that gave S4 a little bit of confidence, but easy kill coming the way of the Storm Spirit, and that puts him up to level 6. And now they'll jump in and capitalize, going into the Undying. The Paralyzing Cast just buys the extra time for Miracle to attack, and that's 2 very quick back-to-back kills, giving Storm Spirit momentum into the mid-game, the danger zone we talked about.
He gets his treads out of those kills for free. Oh, S4.
Is he still? With the ball jump, Prophecy being in, however, and now Miracle's out of mana. Admiral Bulldog, what are you going to do in this case? Actually, just beat him down. That's enough. Or is it the one charge? Just give Miracle one extra little bit jump. He turns for S4. The damage will be enough. They just Prophet gets the kill first, however, so Miracle won't get the experience for it, but he will still get the money.
So, this has been mentioned in the past, of course, when he did play Bad Rider frequently, but on other heroes too. S4, he's a very cocky player.
Yes.
And that's what's entertaining about him.
Speaking of cocky, hello Loader. Looks like he Omni-Slashed down the Witch Doctor. Came in between the towers, now he's trapped. He's got spin available, but no TP to work with, and Miracle wants to try and capitalize on this. The spin from Loader and the Facebook movement speed will get him a long way down and allow Nuts to glimpse back Miracle, keeping Loader alive on 54 HP.
That kind of sucked for him because his initial jump was a little too deep into the wrong area, and I guess you can say Loda kind of evaded the jump, so that was really nice of him. Regardless, he's going to stay in this lane and still get a 6-7 minute soul ring, and somebody's going to come and fill his bottle for him too, so nothing was really lost.
Just an easy TP in from Fly. Miracle can jump again. They keep this early aggression going. Nuts. The wall is keeping Miracle at bay for now, but Miracle is still able to reach him with these attacks. We'll find the pickoff, and I'm loving this aggression coming out from the Storm Spirit. I worried he would take a little bit too long to get on, and that was one of those big nerfs as well from the Storm Spirit, with the fact the initial jump clutch you so much you basically got to commit to it now, properly. But he's committing, and they're finding the kills in combinations with other heroes in the lane.
Yeah, he's starting to snowball quite hard, honestly. The 2 kills on Bad Rider really hurts Bat's progression into the quick Blink Dagger, and as I say that, he's actually farming like a 4-stack in the woods. So maybe not so.
Or can you ever slow down a Bat Rider with his farm?
Yeah. From the mid lane, it's very difficult. You know, you get these stacks, and of course you get the solo EXP that you can't really find in the off lane because you're getting zoned by supports. So, honestly, if it wasn't for the deaths, he would have a Blink Dagger right now, straight up, and he'd be killing somebody as we speak, I think.
Well, that's just what you get when you dive, but okay, this is where I start to wonder where Alliance do things. Like, if the Blink Dagger was up, they go for initiations and everything is hunky-dory. But can they push with just a Disruptor as well as an Undying? Level 2 Tombstone or not? Like, their pushing power doesn't seem to be that brilliant.
It does seem somewhat limited, I think, at this point. Again, it's a product of the lanes going how they went. But with the Slaughter just sitting here, giving vision and farming mid, Witch Doctor is sort of trying to hold down in the bottom lane. Again, this push is not really going to be repelled at this point, and I think this is like the beginning of that timing. Loda's still only level 7, but S4 will have this Blink Dagger, and if they ever get a kick around mid, they can just push that tower down with the Furion as well as the Juggernaut's assistance. In the meantime, I think Monkey are reacting accordingly just by pressuring the top tower, and I think S-Spawn's responding as well.
S4's going to TP up, but he'll cop an Avalanche to the face. The Wrath of Nature damage, that's actually, that's dropping crit down very, very low. Already 2 sticky napalms, he doesn't have the speed to get out of here. 9 stick charges will keep him alive, giving Notel a little bit more as well. But S4 needs to buy the space, and they're going to find it. Notel is lassoed up by S4, and with the Avalanche shots, Admiral Bulldog will drop. RK barely living, and Notel's just trying to man mode them all. S4's so low, but Nuts will finish the job. As RK and S4 are very, very apprehensive to go anywhere. They're worried about that rotation. Here it comes from Slaughter. but there's no Blink Dagger. Moon has run in here. He comes underneath the Undying Tombstone. They sticky napalm him up, now 3 stacks, glimpsing him back over. They still have to keep the distance here, but that's where Flamebreak can come into play. Pushes him down, Loader will arrive as well, and Monkeys, they commit so heavily to this top, realizing 2 heroes were so low. Maybe Miracle with the ball jump can do it. But
oh yeah, he can.
He's holding back.
I think he should have gone with the Amp Vision. He definitely should have gone. He has 700-800 mana, like 1k plus mana with the Soul Ring. He had double damage. Oh, that was a triple kill.
The call must have come like, we've already lost too much of the top lane. Let's not lose any more. Let's just take out the tier 1 tower. That had to have been the call.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, honestly, like that was like any Storm. I think just looks at that and says, delicious. But playing it safe is not an issue. They still get the tower. They don't lose any more in exchange, as you say. But he had a double damage, man. I don't know. That looked like a really like a classic Storm dive. That's what it looked like.
Especially after glimpses on cooldown, like everything was great.
No
Loader, gonna go for solo kill, Omni Slash, not overkill when you've only got 3 jumps at level 1. So just takes an easy kill over on the IO. I like this build from Notel. I was actually wondering if you go for the Blink Dagger, but he's going for a Shadow Blade instead. And yeah, Miracle's dead. Blink, Lasso, they drag him back into Nuts' ultimate, and Miracle's got nowhere to run.
I was just about to say he is so farmed. And he still is very farmed, but yeah, getting picked off like that always sucks.
Dire's middle tower is
Yeah, but what do you think about the Shadow Blade over on the Tiny? Like, is it going to be enough to get the initiation over something like a Blink Dagger?
Personally, I don't think so, but No-Tail he's like the Tiny Master, so I can't really question him until I see it. I'm not too sure what the basis for is it yet, but I'm sure it has its reasons.
Well, we'll see it come into play probably almost instantly when he gets it. He's only a couple of 200, 300 gold away from it. S4's now making the most out of the Dire jungle. He's farming with an Observer Ward, so he knows if Monkey rotate from the middle lane to stop him, and just taking out the farming areas of Monkeys.
I do think maybe the reasoning is that he sees a lot of these heroes are like 900, 1k HP, and maybe with one right click he can finish them off with the combo as opposed to just blinking in with the combo and not finishing their targets and then letting them get off their like 17 magic stick charges and having the fight turn on them kind of thing. Again, I don't know if it's a good reasoning, but it might be.
Smoke move coming out here from Monkeys, so Miracle Fly as well as Moon Meander going to be looking for an opening, and they're coming towards the mid lane.
Well, S4 is a very hard kill without the... I think the Slaughter should just be farming Blink. I initially thought what this was a Roshan attempt, but I guess not.
Actually, they're going to break the smoke of Alliance. S4 comes over, so each other breaks each other's smoke, and Storm Sprint, he just jumps in and straight back out again. Not coming out by Nuts, but they relocate into the middle of Nuts' ultimate. Now your Death Ward to go to work from Fly, pushing back Admiral Bulldog as Miracle will jump down for him. S4 finally will discontinue that Death Ward by throwing out the Flame Break and burning him up inside the Firefly, but Miracle still got another jump left in him, goes for S4, but the Omni Slash back off cooldown. That'll give the damage to Loader to finish off Miracle, and now it's all up to the running Moon. He needs to get out of this one to save that money.
I'll take that as tribute.
To not delay this Blink Dagger any further, but it ends up being a 4-for-2 trade-off, heavily in favor of Alliance.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I don't think they played the fight as well as they had hoped. Because if they were able to lock the Storm down with the Static Storm, I think the fight would have been much cleaner. Because the Storm was able to just go back to the back lines and do a lot of damage on S4 and finish off Bulldog as well in the process. So they might not have lost the heroes that they had lost had they locked down the Storm. But again, it's just an issue with the lineup right now. They don't have too many disables, and I think Bulldog has realized this and he is going for his standard Orchid pickup. And when he does receive that, or when he does get that, game's going to be slightly different. But as you said with the bottom lane as well on Moon, you know, he ran away with his money, and now he has a Blink Dagger.
And that's now when he can start going for the plays. Slight irony, by the way, that last team fight, it was a 1,337 advantage of gold coming the way of Alliance. Small things, but this team is like the home of memes.
Is it?
It kind of is, man.
Yeah, I mean, with the Donger, I would say so. I think Arteezy and the Donger have a competition when it comes to meming things, but we'll get into that another time.
I really don't think Arturo even is competition. He's just a moody kid in comparison.
Oh, is that right?
All right. Before we start being classed as Bulldog bias, because actually I'm really biased towards Monkey in this game. I still feel like their lineup is looking so damn good. So Notel runs in, he searches for the opening, and Admiral Bulldog either feels this coming. Yeah, the pings are coming out. Like Notel's like, I can't find anybody with this. It's the first Shadowblade usage. They've still got relocate ready to come. But after that last relocate, like they're relocated into the middle of Static Storm. Like, it couldn't have been worse for a Tiny and Wisp when they arrive. They were separated from their team. The fight moved to the east while they were still stuck on the west, and there was no way in or out.
That's the Disruptor counter.
And the Disruptor counter is also that glimpse back. Like, Notel TP'd under the tier 1 tower in the middle lane, and he got a reminder of the lesson of going up against Disruptor. You'll always get glimpsed away.
Goodbye TP, goodbye 75 gold.
And Notel's at least finding some space up on the top lane. In Alliance, they've backed off on their aggression. I say that, and now they 3-man smoke move. So this is basically a 4-man smoke move, considering we will have Admiral Bulldog TPing in, and they're using Loda as bait. But Miracle's got the Invis rune, jumping in close to blink forward. S4 can't get the last two over on Moon Meander, but they get it over on the Storm Spirit, popping him instantly. Fly cancels the TP because in comes Admiral Bulldog. The glimpse back over the Witch Doctor. There's 2 quick kills coming the way of Alliance, and they can go back to what Loda was starting, or baiting, I should say, that tier 1 tower in the mid.
Yep. Again, this is really their timing. Once they get a pick or two with the Bat Rider, they can always get a follow-up pick with the Disruptor Glimpse as well, if they keep the Heroes of Monkey on the chase. And I think they're just demonstrating that that strategy in its classic form. They're going to be able to push the tier 2 down even without the healing word, I think. Or, no, I guess they just say better of it and say they're respawning in 10 seconds. They have relocate and all the other ultimates, and we've invested all of ours for the tier 1, so they'll hold out for the time being, but I think their next play is definitely on top. They want that tier 1 top, and then they want to suppress the Roshan pressure that's looming over Monkey, because they have the Slaughter, they have the Tiny Wisp.
You gotta be careful about that amplification and ability just to go in for Roshan. And on Dire's side, Monkey can just slip in and take it. And look at Notel, he's hunting again, but moves back up just at the... I don't know if it's the wrong or the right time to see who wants to bow that one out. If it's going to be like, who's going to win, the Tiny or the Juggernaut? Probably depends on spin timing a lot. But Loda, okay. So this point booster, when was the last time we saw an Aghanims on a Juggernaut?
Honestly, I don't know, but I did want to talk about it. You know, Juggernaut's just one of those carry heroes in this patch that I don't really understand what the perfect itemization is. And I think most people just end up going the Phase Boots SNY Scotty because it kind of covers all bases. But in the late game, if you ever want to take this hero to the deep late game and you want to right-click with him, you need a BKB, which is kind of contradictory to how the Blade Fury would work, because Blade Fury is not rage. You know, you can't right-click through it, so you just lose DPS a lot of times.
Yep.
But yeah, it's interesting. Every game, I think this hero's item build needs to change and be different. And there are games where you want Battle Fury, there are games where you want Shadow Blade for picks. There are games where you want Axe, and there are games where you want SNY Scotty and Desolator and stuff like that. So I'm sure Loda...
What was it? I think it was the Peruvians that ran the early Moonshard as well, like the 3rd item Moonshard.
On Juggernaut?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, actually the damage output was kind of ridiculous.
Well, Jug does have one of the best crits in the game, or rather the best crit in the game. So if you attack faster, chances are you're gonna crit more or crit harder, I guess.
Jump, bottom lane. There's the perfect line suit, dragging back Notel, but the relocate save we talked about comes into play. So the Wisp will end up sacrificing himself here, so I am sorry, Crit, but your time is limited to 4 seconds.
Yep, his time is up. Alliance's time is now. And
wow,
oh my goodness, my nuts.
You gotta be really careful about that spirit damage. At the same time, Slaughter gets picked off by Loda, so he gets a level 2 Omni Slash over on that Slaughter. So it's a Wisp as well as the Slaughter dropping down. And Notel getting himself flagged. There's no Shadow Blade for another 12 seconds. And that means they get perfect vision. Nuts actually grabbing him by the Notel as he'll be going down inside the Static Storm. 3 heroes in the space of 30 seconds going the way of Alliance. And that'll open up for the tier 2 push on bottom lane.
You know, I've been commenting a lot on the strategy that Alliance is playing. And again, I think they've been displaying it phenomenally. But, you know, my nuts, he really has been on point with every glimpse. Like, it's always been on target, and he would always follow up with a kinetic field or a static storm and just render the heroes useless. So part of the strategy being working out so well is because they're obviously all accustomed to the strategy. They're used to the heroes that they're playing, like Loda, Bulldog playing heroes that they've played a million times. And my nuts really demonstrating a really good disruptive play this game. And Moon is in position.
He's in position, but Alliance are already feeling it coming and they're backing out of here. Is there going to be a relocate to try and initiate on this one? There's the jump forward. You get the stun over on Arke. And while the glimpse out almost at the same time into the death ward from Fly, it will not be enough damage, even with the amplification, to get that kill over on Arke. And he'll drop the tombstone defensively, so Monkeys have no real way to follow this, even now with Mumiana jumping in. Like, he gets caught inside the wall. That's one way to follow it, where you relocate yourself in, but the glimpse goes to work. So Tiny is out, Crit will be isolated, and then Moon Meander goes in deeper as well. Amplification or not, you are getting napalmed, you're getting Fireflied, you're getting Wrath of Nature, and giving Admiral Bulldog not only a double kill, but also he took out a tier 1 tower at the same time. Yeah, that wasn't the dream.
Well, whatever they had lost with the initial 2 deaths, they picked it back up with the Storm getting a Bloodstone charge towards the end, as well as the solo pick off for the Tiny. Now they can pressure bottom because they saw the Heroes of Alliance and they saw Firefly being used as well. So again, I didn't think it was a good move either. I thought they should have just stopped that aggression as soon as the Death Ward didn't kill anything, and then the Undying got earned up. But they followed through and the cores arrived in time. So nicely done by Monkey. And S4 now has a gem, so he'll be able to shut down some of the vision-related aggression coming out of Monkey here on out.
Well, what vision do they really have? If we look across the map as far as dire observer wards go, like one just timed out on the top rune area, and the other one's a defensive one overwatching their own ancients. And that's it for vision. There's nothing else on the field right now. Alliance also put down one defensive observer ward, which will time out in 20 seconds to the entrance of their jungle. And they just planted a fresh one in front of Roshan. But it's not close. Actually, it's close enough to Roshan that it'll see if they walk down through the ramp. But if they go up through the river, the bottom part of the river, then Alliance won't see anything.
Things are coming out on the north side of the map, or the top left side of the map, where we have the Tiny just going in with a smoke. He hasn't popped the Shadow Blade, so he won't be able to recognize right away, but I think they have an idea of where the Alliance team is poised at the moment. And S4, yeah, he's countering out the ward in, I don't want to say in preparation of a Roshan. I don't think they're going to be the ones going into the pit. But just in case a Roshan fight breaks out, you definitely want to limit the amount of vision the enemy plays with. Oh, the Tiny got spotted by the gem.
Yep. S4 dodging the avalanche as well. He's got 4-staff as well as that Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger in 3 seconds time.
They're gonna go.
And there's a 4-staff up. Keeps Sticky Napalm going, and well, Loda, he's got the Omni Slash, but the glimpse interrupts it. They'll still find the kill, so all's well that ends well.
Yeah, it wasn't a disaster that it could have been, kind of thing.
It just shows a little bit of, like, I don't know, miscommunication there, because Loda didn't have to commit the Omni Slash.
Yeah,
he was doing
exactly.
that. Admiral Bulldog now gets not only Orca, but dusts up on the Storm Spirit. He was prepared for the Invis rune that was there for Miracle, which means the Lasso follow-up. They've almost got that kill with the Flame Break. The Miracle jumped himself a long way away, burns through a huge chunk of mana, but he's TPing back in time. 15 HP he'll drop down to.
Goodness.
The burn wasn't enough. He'll end up surviving.
That's the napalm change coming into effect right there. If it was a burst, they would have killed, but now it's a DOT. Pardon me, not the napalm change, the flame break.
Flame break, yeah. I was actually double checking for a moment. It was like, wait, did they change flame? Like, yeah.
Napalm.
Yeah. But at the same time,
you see, that was intentional. No.
At the same time, he wouldn't have got as close because I'm fairly certain they also increased the damage of flame break.
Yeah, but the problem is when a storm is zipping like that, he evades the damage from some of the ticks. So.
Tiny Ags is up, man. It is also being the more standard for those out there who are getting on the wrong horse. I was just talking about the potential of seeing an Ag and Imsaptor only, not the fact he would do it. It is the standard Skadi build coming in for the Juggernaut. And rightly so. He needs stats to survive this. And this makes it very difficult for anyone. It's already difficult enough for Monkeys to run away. But if you get a Skadi slow that actually pierces immunity, and then you've also got that glimpse for the heroes that don't have immunity, you have a very difficult time winning on position here.
The Skadi's definitely good. There's no doubt about it. I personally really prefer the Mask of Madness builds in the past where you can be super greedy, and I think Skadi really complemented that.
How dangerous though is it to get, like, getting a really Mask of Madness up against Malediction as well as Amplification?
Yeah, it's like this game, you might just end up melting yourself, so it's probably not the best idea.
Yeah.
Again though, this Roshan thing, like Monkey's Lino, they could do this anytime, and even with the two towers down at the bottom lane, and just the mid tier 1 missing, they're still not too reluctant with the smoke. They can just go in, kill it in like 5 seconds with the amp. It's very strong.
They're running down, but these wards from Alliance, they're seeing everything. They understand that Aghanim Scepter was going to arrive, so these two Obs wards scan out the Ancients and scan out the area around Roshan. So Alliance know they can get these trades. Like, they just traded Roshan for a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower. Nothing else of value was lost for Alliance.
Yeah. It's a pretty fair trade, I would say. And I think their timing, again, what they're looking for next is, obviously pickoffs, the more they get, the better it is. But I think they're really waiting on Loda's Scotty, because they really want to hit that power spike on Loda where he can be super strong and say, okay.
He just got the Scotty.
Okay.
Admiral Bulldog is also Admiral Bulldog's also 200 away from finishing his BKB, which is an interesting choice considering this Storm Spirit is now building in after the Bloodstone into an Orchid.
The Orchid,
But I'm fairly certain that would probably be more for the Disruptor, right?
It's gonna be, honestly, it's gonna be good on whoever he puts on. If he puts it on Loda before the spin, it's gonna be just as good, because again, like with the Scotty, Juggernaut can fight, but he's still not the most
S4! He got crackly!
Oh,
he got
God.
stunned up as he instantly jumped onto No-Tail. And well, you can toss undead zombies at him. No-Tail will TP himself away until the glimpse from Nuts will end up just stopping it, and Crit has to relocate him out. So No-Tail is safe for the moment.
I think Alliance have to back off this.
Slaughter, he's getting aggressive. Omni Slash is going to go out, and there goes Moon Meander. The relocate wasn't in a bad position. Like, I don't know why Moon jumped in there, because the relocate, it wasn't down in the ancient camp, it was up on the hillside. And now Alliance will back out. Moon, a Miracle, sorry, with a huge jump down. He does catch the Nuts. As the rest of Monkey, they're moving over towards the mid. No-Tail, as much movement speed as he can muster. Arcade's in the neighborhood, but he's not close enough for a pick-off.
That's a really big pick coming out of Miracle here. He's finished his Orchid from that pick, and they can push down the mid tower with the Aegis now as well. Moon bought back too, so that's like all the more reason to do so, kind of thing.
That's still crazy, man. Like, I don't know, like, it's 100% why Moon jumped in there. What the thought process was behind it. Like, if you're
He's
creating space
player,
for the Wisp, then I can understand it. Now, they're going to jump for Loda. Get that initial crush with the Avalanche, Amplify, Orchid as well. Loda in for the Death Ward. Gets popped out. He wanted to be bait, but, well, sometimes the bait gets eaten. And this mid-tier 2 tower will also go with it.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, I know, I mean, not a lot of heroes would have survived that onslaught there with all 5 heroes of Monkey converging on one target, especially with the Amp. But I really do feel the tankiness coming out of SNY Scotty is it's somewhat deceptive. It really is, I think. It might just be a Juggernaut thing, honestly, too, but Monkey get a huge pick on the enemy carry, which is like the only real threat going into the late game at this point, because Bulldog is going for a BKB, which means he's not going to scale infinitely. There's going to be a timer on him, and of course Bad Rider is like, you can always get that pick, but Alliance's lineup is very, very, very crafted towards the 5-manning potential, towards the fighting potential. And Monkey, with their lineup, with the Storm Spirit as well as Wisp Tiny, they can split push very hard.
Alright, I made the image a little bit lighter for everyone out there. I only just looked over and the chat's complaining about the color, so things should look a little bit more normal for everyone now. Sorry, it was just a setting which was wrong.
Yeah, Lasso's coming up again. S4 found another ward with his gem. It's pretty nice of him to not lose the gem till this point on. I think he got it like 10 minutes ago or something like that, and he hasn't died since. So that's very good. But again, his teammates have been falling in result, and it really hurts their ability to scale at this point. They're still ahead of 9 kills, but if you just look at the net worth, it's not different at all, really.
Yeah, the net worth was up a fair chunk of the way for Alliance, but as you were saying, like, the timings were right. Actually, for the first time in a very long time, the experience gain is going the way of Monkeys.
Yeah. Again, it's the split push. The fact that the Storm can farm the woods and the Wisp Tiny can push other lanes or vice versa. Like, it's their level of efficiency is just greater. I think Monkey actually has more variables to play around within the late game.
Yeah.
But if the Alliance, if they have items, then it's a different story.
They need to get the split push items up on Admiral Bulldog. Like, he's got a BKB and Orchid. Because without the BKB, he's going to get caught by the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, Storm is just a natural Furion Hunter, so yeah. you really are limited to your devices when it comes to the split push, I think.
But it means you don't have that build you're talking about before, like it's the Orchid into the Aghanim Scepter, it's the ultimate.
That's
we
right.
always have to look behind ourselves because every single lane is being pushed.
Yeah, that's why I felt like this was it's like a really critical pickup for him. He needed the BKB, but with the BKB, he really hurts his game. So it's one of those lose-lose situations, I think.
Yeah, but just no choice.
Yeah. No choice, really.
Alright, so Alliance grouping up on the top. I'm not seeing smoke in the inventory, so it's not a smoke move. But it's like they were expecting Monkey to attack through the top because monkeys have gone missing from the map.
Yeah,
And now the tree finally, like, okay, so there's one tree and the scouts out the fact that Tiny is over near the ancient area. And they move out again.
Yep, vision is everything this patch. Surprised to say, you know, I think both of these teams do play Night Stalker, and I don't think it got a mention in the draft this game.
It didn't, wasn't banned, wasn't picked.
Yeah.
But I'm fairly certain we'll see it in the next game.
Oh yeah, I think so. When they switch it up, it'll definitely be the first option, I feel. And it should be, rightly so. Like, a hero does so much as a support nowadays. And of course, the 3 position, where people have been running as well.
Here comes Monkey again. No tell with the Shadow Blade. Not going to find anyone. Miracle baiting himself a little bit by coming into this mid lane. But there's no vision right now. I think all of Monkey are off the map. They have one observer on the Radiant side, and it's almost at the tier 2 tower in the mid. But it doesn't see any of the movement of monkeys. Hilarious thing is there's still only 2 wards on the map, and both are on the Dire side. One for Alliance, one for monkeys. This vision is so limited, and you're playing a game with Nature's Prophet and Batrider, as well as with Tiny Storm Spirit. Like you want a game where vision is limited. Like you can't find any pickoffs without being aggressive, like what S4 is doing right now. He'll see the Wiz tether himself up, which reveals the fact there's a secondary hero here, but he's too far away to actually get the lasso and get the drag back.
Yeah. Honestly, man, this game, the longer it progresses, the worse it'll be for Alliance. You know, I think it's already very apparent that they're getting choked out on the map, even though they're...
Jump, long down, S4 needs to be saved right now. The Tombstone's there, they force up and forward, but No-Tail, he'll end up reaching it. There goes the gem. Admiral Bulldog comes into the fight as well. They'll bet down No-Tail, but flies to Deathward, doing some serious work. RK will drop and fly. It's a full duration. Loader will finally break him out of it by attacking in, but the crush from Moon Meander will buy a little bit more space before the double sprout. The Glimpse will drag one back, and who do they go for? It's going to be Slardar. This is the main man. He's trying to finish up a Yule set from his own. A 3-man crush with the amplification. At least they can keep vision on where S4 is going to move to. Admiral Bulldog cannot cancel that TP out from Fly, who did probably almost all of the damage from Monkey during that fight.
Yeah, it was a really nice pick that they got on No-Tail there. And I think, honestly, I think his choice of Manta costed him. I feel like if he had a BKB, the fight would have been completely different. But I can sort of understand the Manta pickup against the Batrider, because you want to disrupt his lasso click when he blinks on you. But you have Craggy, and if it does the same thing it did at bottom earlier at the Ancients, then why worry about the Batrider, right?
Yeah.
Skill Craggies are way too good, but I don't know. Like, despite the fight, I still think Alliance are going to be hard-pressed to push high ground. Their lineup can certainly do it with the 5-man, but it's just going to be so difficult against the Storm and the Tiny when they get big. I think if Monkey take a good fight, this is going to be a very, very clean 5-man wipe for them. And we cannot forget that Alliance S4 had to buy back for that fight.
Like, they're giving him the respect. Like, they're not just going to go for it. It's not that whole case of like what we saw with the Slardar before. Okay, I bought back. We have to go for some kind of kill here. It's no, we bought back. Yeah, money was lost. But that's it.
Oh, Loda just bought a gem.
Did he?
Yeah.
I suppose he had to buy it for someone, because the money for S4 kind of needs to go into a little bit more tanky items. He really needs to finish that BKB on the Batrider.
His item progression just got halted because, again, from two position at mid, looking for these kills on Batrider, it's like it really halts your item progression.
Roshan spawns up in about 20 seconds time. The Alliance are already moving themselves over to try and contest this. And what have they got? No-Tail's in close. There's the gem of S4, revealing him, and they're actually going to get the long glimpse back of No-Tail into the Omni Slash with the lasso. They'll hold him here just long enough to find the kill. So Tiny will drop that 63 seconds on the sideline, and 4, 3, 2, nuts into the pit, and... Ow.
Oh my gosh. Tell me they scouted it.
Yeah, they're seeing it now. They're seeing it now. If they actually backed out and didn't grab Roshan because of 1 second of time, that would have just been like the ultimate failfish.
This is, I mean, No-Tail just got picked off at the worst time, like literally the worst time of the game. You know, whatever mistakes you make gets amplified towards the late game, and this was that kill. Like again, the BKB, the Manta choice, I don't know. I don't know how much the multi-target or the Manta itself helps. I guess Omni Slash you can evade some damage and stuff, but the main point of his hero right now, he wants to go in with the Wisp and just right-click everything down, and I don't think the Manta allows him to do that against the disables coming out of Alliance.
It really doesn't. Like, I almost would have preferred a casual Ghost Scepter if he's worried about Omni Slash, or
Yeah, his death, honestly, it costed them Aegis. And look, Bulldog's going for the... He has it. He has the Aghanim Scepter finish now. The map is going to start getting very dark for Monkey and Nighttime.
But at the same time, this is kind of what Monkey also want in a way. Not the split push part of it, but Admiral Bulldog to have the confidence to try and go for the split push. Already a couple of buybacks
so they can
come
try
out
to exploit his position.
Exactly, exactly. So it's all about keeping the vision up, see where they're coming, keeping vision up against a flame. Oh, good Orchid. Really good Orchid from Miracle. That just saved his life right there.
He also has BKB, and Crit had the relocate as well. So
yep.
I think he was fine.
They just glimmered him out. But there was a lot of support from Alliance coming up the hill. And if S4 was able to lasso and drag him down...
It might have been a Wisp kill, because I think the relocate would have like sent the Storm away.
True.
And then he would have relocated back. Big Daddy, he's really intent on doing this. I'm watching him again. He's at the bottom lane. He's just farming the enemy woods. He really likes playing this efficient style where he wants to split up and not just split up and farm like the chat would, but to split up and force the enemy heroes onto him. And every time he's done that, he's gotten punished for it. So it's kind of a...
Get out of there, Slaughter.
Oh,
S4's coming in right now. You don't see him come in from the Roshpin angle. And with the Tombstone down, it's a great position to find out for Alliance. With a Wisp relocate, he'll save him. Fly will push back Alliance outside the pit. While the rest of Monkeys do get out, apart from poor little Io. He's coming back. There is a target close enough that he can tether it over to, but okay. That is, again, Loader. A lot of early damage just being done, and the Wisp will go down.
I wonder if this is their push. I mean, the Mantis being shown now, and I think Alliance realized that the Monkey really want to push out the lanes here. They could go for it. They still have ultimates, and Lasso is coming up in 25 seconds. So I think they definitely can do it with the Tombstone coming up as well, and Healing Ward coming up in 30. Pinging out the Storm now because they saw him, but...
I don't know if an IO pickup is going to be enough confidence. Like,
it's more like they also have the Aegis, I think, and also I can't recall if they forced the BKB on Storm. No, they did not actually. So never mind.
He's still sitting.
If they did, I think that would.
They might do it in a moment, however. S4 is getting in position. Get jump in behind. Fly is ready as well. So there goes your lasso, dragging back Miracle into the Omni Slash. They've got him down. 34 seconds at the sideline. Fly may not be so lucky here.
There's a glimpse. There's a glimpse.
There it is. The flame break, one swing from Loader, but Fly completely surrounded by trees. And Monkey's base is now going to be under siege. 20 seconds until Storm is up. There's fortification off cooldown in 2 seconds time, so they can buy a little bit of space here. But Crit, he has to keep him alive. There's nice. A 3-man crush. And with the Mantra Illusions, they're trying to beat down this Tombstone. That's one way to get rid of it without risking your heroes. The Tombstone is down, and Monkeys will buy themselves that time. Alliance cannot take the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, again, the high ground coming out of Alliance, it's going to be very difficult. They need to take this further deeper into the game, where, again, I thought they would have a disadvantage, but once they get items, it's going to be perfectly fine because they have scaling supports and the scaling Batrider. So, S4 actually has BKB now. That means all the jumps that he's going to go for now is going to be 100% guaranteed. There's no more skill Karages to deal with, there's no more Orchids. The only thing he has to worry about is the Wisp relocate, but again, it's kind of like a delayed Wisp kill in that situation.
Yep.
So if Alliance take the fights correctly, they can definitely topple the Monkey business fighting lineup.
I'll bring on the push now. Well, actually, can you even do that when you're Monkeys? Like, you keep farming up inside the jungle, but when was the last time we saw them do damage to a tower?
Well, they might be able to now. Big Daddy just spent like 3k gold. I don't know what he's buying. He's buying an AC.
I'm looking towards the mid, and I'm not seeing the time.
Yeah.
Loader is already back here. He's still got the Aegis, the Immortal in his hands for another 50 seconds. So this tier 3
Big
tower
Daddy
is being attacked, and well, where's the time?
You know what? He didn't finish the AC. He actually bought 2 pieces. He doesn't have buyback.
Okay, this isn't a great thing. Creep Wave's going to get mopped up. He's still got the Mana Style and actually denies up his own mid-tower. S4 jumps in and Cragley, once again, he'll get himself out to safety. The Disruptor ulti is down, but Miracle a long way out of home and he'll get popped. 53 seconds with no buyback available. This is Alliance moment to come forward. You might not have the lasso. They're going to glimpse fly back a little bit closer. Paralyzing Cast could buy him some space to move here, but not enough space. Glimmer Cape or not, they get through him. The Gematruce have been dropped, and Loader wants to keep battling. Notar coming back forward, a 3-man crush. Looking for that cleave swing. Avalanche and toss. Admiral Bulldog copying huge amounts of damage. Loader spun up and towards the air, not of his own accord, that this mid-rack, it is dropping quickly. Notar needs more damage, but he cannot do it. Crit can't stay with him. He might have to come back in a moment. They're all grouped up together, but that that stun. It keeps No-Tail and Loda control for the moment, and No-Tail has been bashed up by Loda. Loda will finish the job. No-Tail has buyback. He will be using it, but the mid ranks, most of it's already been lost. The amplification's over on Loda now. Careful of that. Well, there's no glimpse, but can they get that blink? There's blink plus crush your scepter. So they're going to go for the crush over on RK. No-Tail goes for the kill over on Loda, and with the extra help coming in from Crit as well as Moon Meander, they'll find the two stragglers. The exit kills for Monkey coming their way, but already Admiral Bulldog just tightens the valve, and they'll pressure the top tower with Treants.
And he's about to ulti, I think. Yeah, there it is. 30 seconds to creep wave spawns, and a whole bunch of Treants to spawn on the map.
Careful, Slaughter. Okay. It's not as bad for No-Tail when you get that many Treants spawn up, because he just cleaves through them all. It takes a huge amount of CS with it. He's almost at 400, like it's 363, 364 CS now, 39 minutes into the game.
Yeah. Honestly, whatever CS count you have against Furion is most of the time it's just inflated net worth. It's not real, and because the Treants don't get, like, they're kind of treated like Spiderlings, except you can't really create the same number of Treants as you make Spiderlings.
Yeah.
Well, you can when you have Aghanims.
Yeah, you can now. And wait till you get Refresher Orb.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder what he's going to go next, honestly. I don't think this is an Octarine Core Refresher game, but he might just do it. I think if he just gets a Sheepstick, it's more than enough. But, you know, Bulldog has his own approach to the Furion and why it's so strong.
I'm wondering if you should turn him into a damage dealer.
Yeah, I kind of feeling the same. Like, earlier when you saw him pop the BKB, he couldn't turn on the Tiny because everybody was so low and everyone's getting cleaved.
Yeah.
But he definitely could do damage with the BKB, I feel. And I think Sheep actually helps that too, because Sheep is only 35 damage for Intel Heroes, but it's a disable that, like, if they can cast it on Witch Doctor while he's ulting or something, the fight's probably won.
I'm kind of with almost any build he goes here. Like, as long as your playstyle will match it, which you're almost positive it will.
Yeah,
like, if you want to go for split push, then go for split push.
I agree. I think his the lineup they have is so flexible in that regard, because they really benefit from the Furion pick and his ability to just be anywhere. It does complement it well.
You could actually try and build for, like, the high ground attack. Like, you already got an Assault Cuirass over on Monkeys. Is it worthwhile getting, like, an AC on him? You finish up like a Crimson Guard over on the Undying, and then you got everything you need to push up. Well, not everything, but it's definitely going to help.
I think you're right. I think that is a good approach. And
he goes for the Refresher anyway.
Undying, I haven't watched them all game, but I don't really know about this, honestly. Like, these Undyings that go Vanguard and Mech, I think I've seen it frequently lately when the 4 position does that. I'm not too sure how effective it is, because I think the Axe is just really, really, really powerful Undying right now.
I know Fear has been, like, he keeps doing that. Like, Ags whenever he possibly can, almost to a point where you rush it. Now Monkey, they want to try and fight, but then Miracle getting caught inside the Static Storm, and as well as Orchid, he has the BKB now, and where is the damage? They're trying to get rid of this Tombstone, and again Fly, this perfect position for the Death Ward. They can't get close enough to stop him. Now Arcade comes in and tanks up the damage, but they have to walk away from this one. Careful what happens when they actually get nags on that bloody thing, but Loda still finds a double kill, and now we start to see where Alliance just have so much more strength than Monkey business. When they add these 5-man fights, when you get that perfect Disruptor ulti, they'll take out 4 heroes of Monkey. Moon Meander, well, that's just a ball lining to try and slow him down. But this bottom ranks, it will belong to Alliance.
Yeah. Alliance have so much sustain at this point. The healing ward just healing everybody up between the mech, the soul rifts coming out non-stop, and magic stick charges.
GG.
It's GG. Like that fight was a very clear tell. Again, their 5-man potential was strong all game, but I think the deal breaker this game was definitely the Tiny getting picked off in the enemy woods there. Like, they lost Roshan, they lost Tiny, and he didn't have buyback. It was really, really a critical moment in the game, and the game completely turned in Alliance's favor from there on out.
And Alliance will take game number 1 up against Monkey. Are they back? Game number 1 tells us one side of the story. What's going to happen in the second side? We'll come back for game number 2 after the short break for the D2CL. Remember, we've got a lot of action coming your way tonight. Not only this best of 3 between Alliance and Monkey in the quarterfinals of the D2CL, but we also do quarterfinal number 2. NIP will be going up against Team Empire at the end of this game. So make sure you stay tuned. More Dota 2 action coming your way tonight.